everybody, it's Colin here. God, I'm like buses, aren't I? I don't put one up for a couple of months and now there's one coming another week, within a week. But this one is all about ice. Not the cold stuff what's outside. Ice what you can run on your track. And it is very nice. It's by Kato. So, you know it's a train. If you haven't heard of it, it's ice number 4. As you can imagine, they've done 4 of them up to now. I don't know if there is a 5. I've not looked into it. I think 4 is the latest. And very nice it is too. So on with having a look. Well, something very exciting's come today. And it's another Kato. And instead of it being in a green box, because a lot of them are in green, there's some other special colours, this one's in a white box, which is quite appropriate really when it's called the Ice 4. What's run in Europe, and it takes the same chips for the decoder and the lights as the 800, so that's good. So you don't have to mess about getting a different chip. So I'll get it out of the box and give you a close-up view of it. So this is it in the standard book effect box. And that is one sleek train. It's great. So we'll just get one out. Interesting wheels on the front bit. If I can get it to focus. How they're virtually hidden away. You don't see much of them at all. Just can't get it to focus. Sorry about that. Ah, there we are. That is a smooth. That front bit with the line, it looks like that will just flip open. It's great. But as I said, the Kato light chip is exactly the same as the 800. You just pull that panel out and put your light decoder into there. The motor car is, I believe, this one here, and again exactly the same. They're a little bit more tricky to take the actual body off, but because of how, if I can focus in, it splits on the grey to white line, but that is just smooth as anything. So you just have to be patient. If you just get your nail in there or a sliver of plastic, lift it and it just part away, so you can just run some down the length and it comes off. It has a different mechanism though for joining. It's actually halfway up, if I can get it to see it. The door, well, a quarter of the way up the door, that black spot on the grey. Let's get it to focus on it. That's the coupling, and the whole door virtually attaches together. It's like this E7. If you look at that door there, those two doors, they're in the centre, but when it goes round a corner, if I show you on this one, it slightly, well, it slides left and right, and it's not in the centre now, it's moved towards this side of the coaches. And this is how these work. Don't know if I'll be able to show you it, but I'll give it a good go without pushing the old coach over. But if you can see it, it moves like that from one side to the other. Now the coaches, I don't know, they are a tad longer than the 800, just a little bit longer. And I do know, because we've given it a go, that these won't go round Stoneale's layout because her corners are too tight. Now the train is too big for her layout anyway, 7, but we could miss a couple of coaches out and only make it a 5-car length, but they're too long, and with this mechanism of the door sliding, there is a limit, and on a tight corner they flip off. The bogies can't turn anymore, so they just jump off, which is a shame, but never mind, we'll just run it on this layout. If it runs on mine, I am taking a bit of a gamble here and saying it is going to run on mine, but it should do. So I'm just going to put it up along here, and then I'll show you it going round. What is good detail on these, they have marks on. This is the second. This is where the disables go. There must be more room in this coach for disabled. At the other end, it's saying it's also a family coach. This one's just first, somewhere along here. It says first on it there. These are second. But this one here is a quiet coach. It's for a bit of hush. And then bikers can put the bikes in at this end. And this one also has here the restaurant car symbol on, and the detail is excellent. It really is spot on. They run them as either 7s, I believe 7 or 12, but you buy this as a 7 and you buy 5 coaches separate if you want to have 12, but this will be big enough for me. Right, they're pushed together the same as the 800, but how you disconnect them, you just lift them apart. As easy as that. You don't have to lift both units into an upside down V. You just basically lift the wagon up and it disconnects. It's that easy. Right, it's ready for its run. Interesting, these front wheels, how they are, there's not much showing of them, as you can see, but they look like little ploughs just to clear the track on the ends, at both ends, on the first two, and then the change to these open bogies But one of them, I'll move it forward, is very smooth to the side, right the way down, pushing the way. Not like that one. No, that one. That's like that. There'll be some reason, don't know what it is. It'll be to do with airflow, and some of the coaches have these electrical connections and they all face one way, except for that one, which is the low profile on the side, doesn't have anything. And I believe, oh, that's a restaurant car as well, so I don't know if that's anything to do with it. So let's see it run. And it has, before I go, 3 lights at the front and 2 red at the back, depending which way it's going, of course. And you can get light units, and as I did in that other video, you don't have to use the plastic, what they're saying, to fire the light beam down, because these have the same type of tops on, so you can use what's in, it'll light it up better. So I'll have to get some lights for it. And this is where your spares come in, because that's a 7 car, so you'll want you get 6, and I have 1 spare from doing the 5 on the 800 on the LNER on that one. And yet again, Kato running very well on code 55 around my corners. I'm going to have to test it up here, but that'll be for another day. And up to full, you know, just runs smooth as anything. And pull it into our station for its maiden voyage with passengers. See, that length is good for me. I know I'm going to do a 10 in the LNER, but that's 7, so it's only 3 more. It's just going to have to be what it is. Its destination will fit 10 cars. My layout, they have to sit in a certain coach for this station. But I'll try it the other way, and I'll try it on the 3rd loop, see if it goes round Heather Hill. So that's it. Okay, so I thought I'd try ice going on the 3rd loop. Now, this is what happens with them. If you notice, the door unit has come right outside the frame, and it shouldn't go any further than that rebated stuff. And it's done it on there. And that's one of the reasons why it doesn't go around, well, it is the reason why it doesn't go around Stony Hole. But one thing I did forget to mention, if we just send the actual engine bit up, which is that bit, that goes round the corner. It's not the actual curve, it's the design of this hook. Now the E7, that one, goes round this corner, but they are a shorter coach, so it doesn't have to manoeuvre as big as manoeuvre with the, you know, that sliding door, because that's the system it's got. So I can't run it on the third loop, which is okay. The way of getting it onto the other line is to use this one here down the side of the engine sheds, and it'll just go that way around. So I will send it that way, and then we'll test it, and I'll show you it running round that line, what's to the right of the tankers, which is the anti-clockwise track. So I'll just send it back. Went up the hill fine, round that corner, and the one under the hill, but not that. And I thought that would be the case because it is tight. And that example there shows the reason why. Now the 800, that does go around there because the coupling is different. It's right down at the bottom and the doors don't move. So it's just a different system they've used. And at the end of the day, you wouldn't run anything like this on an upper urban line, if you want to call it that. So at least we know. And that just shows, like I say, the reason why. The coach will go around singly, and it did at Stony Hole. The motor car went round on its own, willy-nilly. We thought, right, we've cracked it, until we connected it up. But never mind. These things are sent to testers, but it's not a problem, because like I say, I don't need to run it up here. I've got two nice lines to run it down at the bottom, but we'll test it on the other way. Okay, so the ice. No running issues. One issue, doesn't like really sharp corners, because even that one under the tunnel, which starts there, it's just too tight for it. So it is a very swooping corner type train. Nice, needs nice trains. That doesn't mean it can't run on the inside. It just means I would have to lift it, take it off. So if I only ever run it just on the outside, that's fine. Don't have to run the other way. Just one of them things, because how I transfer from the outer to the inner is either on this one there, going down the side there and round and onto the inner, or I go up and over, and that was the idea, because the power is set up to go in one direction, and with it being a continuous, these two lines, the power say goes that way. These lines, these three lines there, they all go away from the camera because of the return loop system. It works. The engine yard, diesel yard, doesn't matter, and that works with the inside direction. So that's how it goes. So that little beauty, as lovely as it is, will physically just go that way around, and to run it the other way, I'll just run it the opposite way, just so it gets a bit of a run, so the engine doesn't get used to just going one way. So that's it, basically. That's the only way to do it, or I physically lift it off and lift it from one track to the other. It is easy with those couplings, but I'm not too bothered at the end of the day, and it can still go on to the cassette system because it can go up the hill, it can go around and on the upper level, but this is the sharpest bit. Well, it goes straight on there towards those bushes because that's where the cassette system sits, so I can still store it up there as well as all of the fiddle yard over there on 2 levels, because that is all on the outer loop. The inner loop shares it by just coming up the hill and round this area here. So never mind, it's not by far the end of the world, but we'll get some lights, interior lights for it, and get them in so it matches those interior lights in there. It's amazing how the train world is all going down this stream front for speed. You know, okay, I know these are both made by Kato, but they're made by different companies and in the real world, but they've all got just about the same angle and curvature. Well, I hope that was interesting. It was very interesting to actually see it run. It's very smooth to the touch as well, very sleek. You know, you can see how it cuts through the air. And Kato have done it again. It's excellent. So I hope it's been useful. If anybody needs to know any more about it, if they get one, don't hesitate to leave me a comment. Or you can find me on Twitter, like I said before, or on Facebook. But otherwise from that, I'll see you next time. We have another couple of new engines to show you. One is definitely by, well, both of them are going to be by Kato, but from America this time. And looking forward to showing you them. And thanks to any new subscribers, I've got a few just recently, very grateful. And please hit the like, hit the bell so you know when new stuff is coming, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.